It's really just a complete shit take. So because of the fact that we were having survivability issues, and the build I had just didn't feel the same as it did in the beta. Like, I didn't do the server slam. We changed some things. Now I'm going to tell you. So I've decided not going with Flurry, right? I'm using Twisting Blades and Puncture, which I messed around with Puncture in the beta, and it was okay. It was okay. But Invigorating Strike was better. I believe it was Invigorating. Yeah, Invigorating Strike was better because you always had enemies that were half health, always had vulnerable. All the time. And it just played out better. I feel like the changes that they made coming into Live, because they did improve damage output of bosses and mobs and things of that nature, that this is not as beneficial as being able to be ranged and throw your daggers at them the way you can with Puncture. And if you hit them with 2 blades in this spread, they still get vulnerable. You just have to hit them with 2 of the 3 blades, and they get the vulnerable, and it doesn't matter what their health is. Which is why I liked it in the beta. It faltered compared to Invigorating Strikes, in my opinion. So, we went that route. Then, Flurry. I like Flurry a lot because it hits everything there in the area 4 times. As you can see, it does a lot of damage. It's a good attack. It tends to just melt things in most situations. However, Twisting Blades, you can hit Twisting Blades on an enemy. You can dash away through other enemies, and it comes back to you from that initial enemy to your position and causes damage as it passes through things. Once again, allowing you to cause damage from a distance, which is very good. Plus, what was it? Dazing them while they've got Twisting Blades is a CC effect, right? So we want that. More these passives that we had before for this, so that you can get to where you're healing when you critically strike. Then I did Shadow Step so that we can get behind and past things more often, so that your Twisting Blades travel back to you. You have another way to get away and put more mobs between you and where you set it off. So you use that, use dash for movement, obviously, and then you take these. Because now you're actually stunning shit. Well, not stunning shit, you're dazing things, right? Knockback, knocking down, we're not doing that with... We do that with the Poison Trap, though. Strike a dazed enemy. They are knocked down. So now we can daze them, and then we can knock them down, which increases our critical strike chance against them. When we hit a dazed enemy, once again, our evasion loses half a second of cooldown reduction per point here, which is fantastic because imagine how many times I've been complaining about evasion not working, which is part of the reason I decided to go with this build. You've got daze, you get evasion more often, you're able to get these crits more. You just need to have more mobility, which is why you take Shadow Step. Poison Trap. So I was avoiding Poison Trap because I don't like it as much as I like the imbuements. However, knockdown, more damage. Poison Trap knocks down enemies for 1.5 seconds when it activates. Also, 30% chance to reset your imbuement skill cooldowns when activated. So, Poison Trap allows me to cast Shadow Imbuement more often, as well as knock shit down, which means more strikes. Knocking them down also means we can daze a knockdown enemy, right? Or no, never mind. I was thinking that backwards. So anyway, you do that, and then poison enemies deal 15% less damage when you put 3 points here. I've only got 2 right now. 15% damage reduction to poisoned enemies on a 10-second cooldown here on Poison Trap is much better then 8%, which I think this is reading wrong because I did see patch notes that say this is supposed to be 4% damage reduction per shadow now. So I think this is actually supposed to be down, but 8% on a 20-second cooldown with 5 shadows, and you lose a shadow every time you get hit, versus 15% every 10 seconds as long as they're poisoned. This is a better choice. Increased poison damage, which you have to take to get here. And it's not bad, because then your trap does more damage, right? 1% increased attack speed for each enemy you've poisoned, which is also awesome because that's more attack speed, right? And then, of course, I want these still in the same build up through Shadow Imbuement. Now, the reason I'm keeping Shadow Imbuement is because this is giving us our survivability and reduced damage that we were taking here from Dark Shroud. So I'm just basically replacing Dark Shroud with Poison Trap for survivability now. And I'm swapping out Shadow Step for the Shadow Clone. That's pretty much what we're doing. And I've gotten down here and taken Momentum. I'm not sure if I like Momentum. It's more attack speed. Victimize might be a better choice. Or, actually, Exposure might be a better choice because of the fact that we're using a trap now. So that's kind of where I'm at. Is we're doing that. I'm kind of debating between this one or this one. We'll see how it goes. Maybe legendaries and things like that will make a difference. But this seems to have increased my survivability and not really damaged my output not really hindered my damage output. You just have to get used to a completely different playstyle where you need to be jumping around and through mobs more often so that you can drag your Twisting Blades through them. Which also I saw Twisting Blades got nerfed in the same patch notes, and I personally don't think that it's going to matter. Like, I don't think that the nerf is going to be that big of a deal. Like, you're going to notice it, but I think it's not going to be that big of a deal. I also... Inner Sight is what a lot of people are going with because of energy regen needs, right? So every 4 seconds, and then there's a 4-second cooldown after Inner Sight goes before you can build it up again. But you get 4 seconds where you don't consume any energy. Energizing Loop. Damaging an elite enemy with a basic skill, so that's Puncture, generates 6 energy. I haven't had any energy problems, and I've been preferring the damage output I see from having I prefer the damage output from the combo points that I'm seeing over what I was seeing from the there we go. What I was seeing with the energy regen. The energy regen just didn't seem to have as fluid or as good of an output as this does. So I'm enjoying this, and not only that, but look at how fast things are dying with this build compared to using Flurry, right? I didn't even use my Shadow Imbuement that time, and it still pretty much killed all those ghouls instantly. So, I mean, like, I'm not really missing out on damage at all. If you look at how fast that stuff's dying, it's not that big of a deal. You may as well just kind of suck it up and go for it. Turn this down just a bit. This game seems like it's very loud.